My name is Father Fabian Grafoni. I was a pastor here since 1992. The Feast of San Gennaro here in Little Italy was commemorated the coming of the first Italians from the Naples area, immigrating to here to New York, and especially to Mulberry Street, where they settled down, and they wanted to celebrate in some way their patronal feast of Saint Gennaro, which they always celebrated in Naples, Italy. Over here, gradually this celebration started with a one-day celebration, and then magnified to what it is today, the 11-day celebration.
This is my first time back in like 7 years. I used to come here all the time when I was a kid. My family we'd go eat at Umberto's Clam House, and then we'd just come here and just get zeppelis and walk around, play around as a kid. Now that I'm back, it's like a lot of memories rushing back, but it's still the same as it was when I was a little kid.
I've been associated with this feast since 1995, when I first became provincial. I'm now stationed outside of Toronto in Canada, where I run a retreat house, but my love for the feast and the people who come here every year and the traditions that we see year in year again, every year for the feast, I still come in to help Father Fabian and the wonderful people of this parish who do so much to keep this tradition alive. Not only the food, the culture, the people, the story of San Gennaro that we hope to live with the younger people today who may not be as familiar as the old-timers. In a nutshell, San Gennaro was the Bishop of Benevento and now the patron saint of Naples. He was martyred in the year 305 under the Roman Emperor Diocletian. He had gone to visit two of his deacons who were imprisoned because of our faith. When he refused to deny Jesus Christ, he was taken outside and threatened with death, and he still refused to deny Christ, at which time they decapitated him. And after they decapitated him, the blood from his body had run onto the stone, and a woman put her handkerchief and soaked up the blood, and it was preserved in a vial. And every year on the Feast of San Gennaro, the blood, as you know, would eventually turn to a powder. And every year on the Feast of San Gennaro in the Cathedral of Naples, a Mass is celebrated, and the Neapolitans believe if the blood liquefies, it's a good sign. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. And in our lifetimes, the last two times it did not liquefy was when Mount Vesuvius erupted, and many people and homes were destroyed because of the volcano, and at the advent of World War II. And many people were skeptical about this miracle, so people have come in from all over the world, examined the blood, chemists and so on and so forth, and the blood is as fresh as your blood and my blood would be today, and we're talking many, many centuries ago. So it is a true miracle.
La festa di San Gennaro è bellissima, mi ricorda la mia festa che facciamo giù in città da noi, e è uguale.
I've only been coming here for the past 2 years, but I really do like it a lot. There's a lot of vendors, you know, to go to, but I really like going to the one where they have cannolis.
È una festa che non è soltanto una così si celebra un anno e poi finita, no, ma sono più di 80 anni e ogni anno è sempre affascinante vedere come questa gente, perché qui passa, per Mulberry Street passano milioni di americani e tutti restano affascinati da questa realtà, ripeto, che da una parte è una realtà religiosa splendida e dall'altra è anche una celebrazione, un po' come tutte le feste che si fanno anche in Italia, c'è l'aspetto religioso e l'aspetto, diciamo, ludico.
Well, obviously for me as a Catholic priest, the most important thing is the devotions. People come from all over to attend this Mass and to pray to San Gennaro for good health and for a good year and blessings upon their family. After the Mass, we'll process out the front doors on Baxter Street, around the corner on Canal, and all the way up Mulberry Street here. And there'll be thousands of people lining the streets, you know, and making a benediction and blessing themselves as the statue. And the statue is thousands of pounds of weight, and men actually vie and bid to be able to carry the statue for the great honor of this, which happens every year.
Today, when you speak of so many, or when we see so many acts of terror going on through the world, we think, and the people to think, that they should have a greater devotion to Saint Gennaro, perhaps turn to him more than ever before to preserve them from these disasters that happen throughout the world. We hope that New York will never experience a disaster like it did back at 9/11.
This is my first time at this festival, and I usually go to the one on 18th Avenue in Brooklyn, and this is way bigger. And there's so much food, it's making me so hungry. And as soon as I told my parents I was coming here, I have to bring back like 12 dozen Zeppelis. It's definitely a bunch of different cultures brought together. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun, especially since I'm Italian. My family's from Calabria, and so it definitely like makes me feel at home.